Ringside boys, welcome to the side of the ring because it's time for some Ringside rumors. Russell Votes was told that plans are in motion for WWE Raw's 30th anniversary show, which will take place in January 2023. Running the show from the Manhattan Center in New York City was a possibility under WWE's old regime, but it's unknown if that is still an option. Okay, I'm more curious about what they're going to do on the 30th anniversary. I'm assuming they're probably gonna bring The Rock back. Maybe they're probably gonna have Shawn Michaels show. It's just gonna be a bunch of legends, rolling around and doing all their their hacksaw's probably gonna be there. You know what I mean? So we'll have to see. Next, during his appearance on the Roman Atwood. Wait, I thought it was Rowan Atwood. Am I dumb? I swear to Rowan. That's Rowan. I can't spell Rowan. Rowan Atkinson. Yeah. There's no Rowan Atwood. Roman Atwood. Huh. Okay. During his appearance on the Roman Atwood podcast, Goldberg said there are 2 months left on his WWE contract. He's not doing anything with 2 months. He's not doing anything with those. Also, Roman Atwood has a podcast. I didn't know about that. Next, according to Fightful, AEW management felt that Athena was too aggressive in her match against Jody Threat that aired on this week's episode of Dark Elevation. Officials spoke to them after the match. It sounds like Athena changed her approach in order to lean into the boost she was receiving against the hometown wrestler. Threat had no complaints about how the match played out. Yeah, so like I said yesterday, as long as there's consent, right? As long as there's so listen, right? And this is wrestling, right? So I'm sure that they were standing opposite each other, and Athena did a tick. Athena did a little head crank or something, and Jody was like, oh, okay. And then baseball when the umpire's doing the finger guy thing, the bobber thing, and he's like, 3 in the pink or whatever, and then he throws a curveball. I think it's like that. I think they did some little a voodoo to each other, they winked, and then they Athena did a 360 jump in the air, and then Jody did in Little Rascals, no one's gonna fucking remember this. You remember in Little Rascals where they put their hand under their chin and then they wave and then they give a raspberry? I think it was like that. They do one of those, right? So I feel like that's probably what happened. I don't, again, if Jody's not, maybe Jody does want to say something, and she's like, if I say something, Athena could actually beat me up. Maybe it's like that, so maybe in the future, Jody will come out and be like, yeah, I told her not to do that, and she did it anyway. We'll really have to wait, but it sounds like Jody and Athena were they were like, you know what I'm saying? They were moving about and whatnot, and they were like, all right, yeah, fair enough, and then they did it, So, but then again, I don't know, because I'm not either of them, so I have, no idea. It's really, at this point, it's really hard to tell, but it could go either way, to be honest. Next, while discussing the tension between AEW wrestlers Santana and Ortiz, Keeping It 100's Conan mentioned that they still aren't talking to each other. Conan also heard that things almost got physical between Santana and Eddie Kingston over this. Santana was better booking and might leave AEW once his contract expires, while Ortiz is more laid back and happy to be getting paid. That's fair. I can understand both arguments, to be fairly honest with you. I could understand both arguments of I'm getting paid. I'm not really going to yell. I'm not going to scream and cry about it, And then Santana was like, bro, this is dumb. I want to be booked better. And I would agree. I think Santana and Ortiz, I think they're an absolute fantastic tag team. I remember when it came out that they actually didn't like each other, and I was genuinely upset. But then again, it's like the Regal and what's his name, Tajiri thing. You can't expect them to like each other. Just because they're booked together doesn't mean they like each other. But it's I thought you guys had been around for a really long time. But then again, maybe that coincided with it. I've been with this guy for a really long time, and you know what? I've known him for so long, and that's why I don't like him. So it makes sense. But you know what I mean? So really at the end of the day, I'm not their father or anything, so I can't say anything. They're adults. They don't have to like each other, We don't have to do the thing where we force them closer to each other and make them kiss. We can't do that. So it sucks. It does, because I really like them, and I like when they were friends, and I don't want them to I don't want them to be upset with each other. Don't be mad. Come on. Oh, sorry. Okay, I was thinking about do you remember the part in Bob's Burgers when Linda was talking to Bob? It was the first episode, I think. And she was like, you use a lot of saliva. And he was like, oh yeah, how about this? And it was all romantic. And then she pulled away and it was a lot of saliva. He was like, is that mine or yours? And she was like, I think it's yours. And then she was like, don't be mad. He was like, oh, I'll just leave now. Don't want to start a flood or so. Oh man, I love Bob's Burgers. It was great. Finally, on his Grilling JR podcast, Jim Ross mentioned that Paul White recently had hip surgery and remains hopeful for a return to the ring in AEW. I swear to God we talked about this already. I swear to the Lord that way in the beginning, you remember when Big Show was having the feud with QT Marshall, and then that was it. And then he was supposed to be having a feud with Billy Gunn and the Gun Club, and nothing really came of that, and like nothing happened, you know. And then it came out that like he was having surgery, or he was getting like a hip replacement or something, and then it happened, and then like nothing really came of it after that. I think this may be the same thing. I don't actually know, but I swear that's why nothing happened after the whole QT Marshall thing. I think that he did the QT Marshall feud, and then he was like, all right, my hip hurts. I understand you should have a program with me started, but I can't really do anything about that, so I have to leave, you know. I swear that was the same exact thing, but I don't know. Listen, all right, again, I have the mind of a goldfish, so I can be 100% wrong. What do we talk about? WrestleVotes was told that plans are in motion for WWE's 30th anniversary show to be in New York City, running out of the Manhattan Center, but we don't know if that's still an option. Well, I mean, at this point, it's hard to say. In 2023, literally anything could happen. Goldberg has 2 months left on his contract. Yeah, I mean, what is he going to do? I would love it if he showed up, did a backflip, and then left. That'd be great. What a better way to spend your 2 months. According to Fightful. So, Athena's not in trouble, but it's sort of like a finger wag, like, hey, don't be doing that, man. I better not catch you doing that again. Athena's like, sorry, my bad. And Jody's like, and they like how they look over at Jody and like, did you know about this? And Jody's like, I gotta go to the bathroom. I love that. You know, discussing the tension. I don't like that they're upset with each other. They don't have to like each other, right? I'm not saying that they gotta have a makeout session every time they see each other. But, I don't want them to fight. Don't fight. Come on. It's like when you got like 2 best friends and then they're fighting each other. It's like, come on, be happy with each other. Don't. Jeez. Well, you're an adult. You know, you're allowed to not like each other. I'm not gonna say that you're not, but come on. Gosh. No movies. No. You know what? I'm not talking to him. We'll tell him I'm not talking to him. You know, it's one of those like, for the love of God, man. All right, finally on Grilling Jared podcast, Ross mentioned that Paul White had hip surgery. Again, I swear that this was already talked about. Like, not even like recently. I mean, like, I swear like months ago we talked about this, and now we're like, I guess we're still like talking about it. Look, he's got hip surgery. Great. I mean, is he going to return to the ring? Probably not. I mean, it's like Mark Henry. Like, if you could return to the ring, especially now, would you? And if you didn't, it's like, is that really like a bad thing? You know what I mean? So, at the end of the day, as long as he's happy, right? I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, return to the ring, do it. I want to see you wrestle. Like, no, if you don't want to, you don't have to. Folks, that's going to do it for this episode. I want to give a shout out to everybody who stopped by. I really hope you guys enjoyed this episode because I certainly enjoyed making it. And if you want to catch more content like this, be sure to like the video and subscribe, and I'll definitely catch you guys in the next one.